Have you ever wondered what powers our homes, our cities, our world? One answer lies in the hands of a company named Cobalt. Picture this, a company born out of the need for clean, reliable energy, a company with a vision to light up the world, one atom at a time. This is the story of Cobalt, a titan in the global nuclear energy sector. With its origins rooted in the heart of Russia, Cobalt has been a pivotal player in the energy scene for decades, providing a significant chunk of the world's nuclear power. Cobalt's operations span the globe, from the icy landscapes of Siberia to the sunny shores of South America. The company's role is nothing short of monumental. It's the lifeblood of countless cities, powering everything from your morning coffee maker to the skyscrapers that punctuate our urban skylines. With a commitment to innovation and safety, Cobalt has been at the forefront of nuclear energy technology, constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. But Cobalt's influence isn't limited to just energy production. The company has been instrumental in scientific research and development, contributing to groundbreaking advancements in areas like medicine, agriculture, and space exploration. With every passing year, Cobalt continues to redefine the very fabric of our modern society. However, the story of Cobalt isn't just about its successes. Like any entity of its magnitude, the company has had its fair share of trials and tribulations. Navigating the turbulent waters of global politics, environmental concerns, and public opinion, Cobalt has often found itself at the center of heated debates and controversies. Cobalt isn't just a company, it's a powerhouse, literally and figuratively. But every powerhouse has its challenges. In 2024, an event shook Cobalt to its core, a nuclear accident that claimed more than 200 lives. Our narrative begins in the early days of 2024. Cobalt, a Russian nuclear power company, was operating as usual, its reactors humming with the power that lit up countless homes and businesses. Yet, beneath this seemingly ordinary facade, there were warning signs. A series of minor incidents and malfunctions had begun to raise eyebrows. Yet, these were largely dismissed as insignificant, lost in the labyrinth of bureaucracy and complacency. As winter gave way to spring, the situation at the Cobalt nuclear plant took a turn for the worse. On a day that started like any other, a sudden surge in one of the reactors set off a chain reaction that would end in catastrophe. An explosion ripped through the facility, its shockwaves reverberating far beyond the confines of the power plant. In the immediate aftermath, chaos ensued. Emergency services scrambled to respond, rushing to the scene to extinguish the fires and evacuate those who survived the initial blast. More than 200 lives were lost in the accident, and countless others were affected, their lives irrevocably changed by the tragedy. The impact on the local environment was severe. Radioactive material released in the explosion contaminated the surrounding area, rendering it uninhabitable. The once bustling community nearby was cut off, its residents forced to leave their homes behind. Containment efforts were quickly launched, but the task was monumental. The radioactive fallout had to be isolated to prevent further spread, a process that was both dangerous and time-consuming. Meanwhile, the company's director, Dmitry Plokhow, became a figure of controversy. Despite the growing demand for information and transparency, he remained tight-lipped, refusing to provide details about the incident. The 2024 incident was a dark chapter in Cobalt's history, one that would leave a lasting mark on its image and operations. Today, the company still grapples with the consequences of that fateful day, a stark reminder of the potential dangers of nuclear power and the importance of safety and accountability in this critical industry. In the wake of the accident, Cobalt and its director, Dmitry Plokhow, found themselves in the eye of a storm. Public outrage and governmental scrutiny bore down on them like an unrelenting hurricane. The world watched on, horrified, as the grim news of over 200 lives lost in the nuclear disaster unfolded. The immediate response was swift and decisive. Governments around the globe demanded a thorough investigation into the incident. International nuclear agencies, too, echoed these sentiments, calling for an in-depth probe into the safety measures and protocols at the Cobalt plant. As the smoke cleared from the site of the accident, the enormity of the disaster became evident, and the world community united in their demand for accountability. Yet, amidst the clamor for answers, one voice remained conspicuously silent. Dmitry Plokhow, the director of Cobalt, refused to share information about the incident. Speculations ran wild. Was Plokhow's silence a sign of guilt, or simply a strategy to buy time as the company braced for the aftermath? Theories abound. Some suggested that Plokhow was trying to protect Cobalt from the inevitable backlash and potential lawsuits. Others believed that the director was attempting to shield the flaws in the company's safety measures. But without any concrete statement from Plökow or Cobalt, these remain theories, adding to the growing mystery surrounding the incident. Nevertheless, the repercussions of the accident and Plökow's silence were far-reaching. Trust in the company plummeted, and there were calls for stringent regulations on nuclear energy companies. Cobalt's operations came under intense scrutiny, and the future of the company hung in the balance. The accident also fueled the ongoing global debate about the safety of nuclear energy. Countries like Taiwan, already planning to phase out nuclear power due to safety concerns and issues of waste storage, found their decisions validated. Others, who were on the fence, were forced to reconsider their stance. As the weeks turned into months, Cobalt's silence became a symbol of the company's failure to take responsibility. Plökow's refusal to provide information was not just a corporate decision, it was a wound that kept the tragedy fresh in public memory. The silence from Plökow was deafening, and the world waited for answers that never came. Time passed, but the shadow of the Cobalt disaster loomed large, a stark reminder of the risks associated with nuclear power and the responsibility that comes with wielding it. The Cobalt incident of 2024 wasn't just a tragedy, it was a wake-up call. A stark reminder of the inherent risks associated with nuclear energy. The disaster at the Russian power plant sent shockwaves through the global community. Over 200 souls were lost, and a once thriving region now stands as a desolate testament to the incident's devastating impact. Cobalt, a company that was once a beacon of nuclear innovation, is now a symbol of its potential hazards. The incident at their facility in 2024 was not just a blow to the company, but a jolt to the nuclear energy industry as a whole. Despite the company director Dmitry Plökow's reluctance to share information, the repercussions of the accident were felt far beyond the borders of Russia. The event fueled ongoing debates about the safety and viability of nuclear power. While nuclear energy offers a significant solution to the world's growing energy demands without the carbon emissions associated with fossil fuels, the Cobalt incident underscored the potential for catastrophic consequences when things go wrong. This incident has also cast a spotlight on the global trend of moving away from nuclear energy, a movement exemplified by Taiwan's decision to become a nuclear-free homeland by 2025, despite the challenges that decision presents. The Cobalt disaster has given further impetus to these shifts, prompting a reevaluation of nuclear safety measures and a renewed focus on alternative energy sources. Public perception, too, has been markedly influenced by the Cobalt incident. The tragedy and its aftermath have triggered a worldwide discussion on the balance between harnessing nuclear power and ensuring public safety. These conversations are critical as we grapple with the complex interplay of energy needs, environmental concerns, and safety considerations in a rapidly evolving world. As we power forward into the future, the story of Cobalt serves as a somber reminder of the costs and consequences that come with the pursuit of energy. As we continue to explore and expand our energy sources, let us never forget the lessons learned from Cobalt and strive to prevent such tragedies from repeating in the future.